In 1962, there was a little girl playing in her little hideout. Her name was Clyde. She always knew she was going to be a homemaker, so she liked to decorate her little house. Well, one day when she was wandering around and looking for things to put in her little house, she saw a coyote. The coyote seemed like a little bit too friendly, so she was like, you know what? I wonder if it's trying to show me something. So she follows it. She's chugging along and chilling and laughing, whatever, picking up little flowers on the way there. She gets into a clearing where there's like a little tree and a small hill, and the coyote's gone for some reason. But in its place is a random man. He walks up and he's got like a really shy cadence. He's soft-spoken and he's holding something blue. Not knowing what to do, the little girl's looking around like, oh my God. And the guy goes, can you take this? It's called a failsafe. I can sense it when it's near. And she's like, you can sense it when it's near? Are you an alien? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, well, why do you look like a guy? And he's like, well, you remember that storm that happened 5 seconds ago that the narrator forgot to tell you? Well, when that happened, my ship crash landed. It was me and 2 other aliens, bleep bloop and blop bleep. Also, my name is Man, M-A-N-N, and I took the form of the first human that I saw. Anyway, the little girl's like, okay, fine, I'll take the failsafe from you, alien that I've never met before, and I'm gonna go hide it in a field. Well, as they're discussing this, I don't remember, there's a little bit of small talk or whatever. Like 4 government vehicles pull up and they're like, put your hands on the back of your head, come back here, blah, blah, blah. You know, the whole spiel when you get arrested by the government. Suddenly, it's 25 years later, it's 1992, and a girl's sitting inside of her, well, she's a grown woman. Her and her family own this little, motel. It's called, Americana Inn or something. It's like desert land, so I have no idea how they're keeping the company going. It's, dead. Anyway, back to the truck. So she starts the engine, she drives over to this loan shark guy, and she's like, can you help me refinance the motel? We're really doing bad. And he's like, I won't refinance it, but I'll buy it from you. And she's like, abso-fucking-lutely not. And then she goes home and she's having dinner with her man-child and her mom, who seems to be getting old and has some form of a disability. Maybe a touch of Alzheimer's and some joint problem. The husband, man-child, looks at the mom and goes, I got you some ice cream. I got your favorite. I think he said it was vanilla or something. And the mom's like, I like peach. 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 It was probably more than that. Well, anyway, the husband and wife start laughing their asses up, which is fucking cool. Well, technically it's the husband, but then the wife laughs at the husband. And she tells the husband, look, you're upsetting her. Stop laughing. And then the mom gets so upset that she leaves. She goes in the next room and doesn't eat her supper. Ew, I just said supper. Anyway, one thing leads to another. They're done cooking or eating, and they go in the next room, and they're so broke they can barely run their motel. But homeboy's like, I know you said you don't want to have kids, but I think it's time that we settle down and have kids, even though it's your fucking body and you said you didn't want any. He proceeds to put her down and say, oh, all you do is take little pictures of shit, when literally he is just the husband of a woman who owns a motel. He might do a little cleaning or something, but he is a little bitch. Anyway, they go to bed, wake up the next morning, and as she's leaving the house, a man walks up to her that looks identical to the alien man from the beginning of the story. Clive, is that you? Man? You look exactly the same, and you look older. Well, yeah, I look older. It's been 25 years. Why do you look the same? He's basically I'm a fucking alien. And she's like, so where have you been for the last 25 years? And he was like, incarcerated in a government facility? She doesn't even ask how he got out. And he's like, look, I'm glad you're doing good and all, but that blue stone, the failsafe, I need it. I have 3 days or I'm not going to be able to go home. And she's like, 3 days? You've had 25 years and he's like, I just got out of the facility. So she's like, all right, it's over here. And they go over there with their little shovels and there's just desert land. And he's like, all right, so you marked it, right? And she's like, yeah, with a gray stone. But as you see, there's 25 years of dust on that property. And he's like, but you know where it is, right? And she's like, no. So you lied. I didn't lie. I stretched the truth. Oh my God, you know that storm that's coming? I have 3 days. If we don't find it, then the world is gonna end and blah, 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 blah. So they're spending the next 3 days looking for this rock. That's basically the whole story. But to make it a little interesting, there's this government man that comes, and he shows up and he's like, how many of your hotels are full? And she was like, only one. He goes, well, that one is occupied by, basically he's the government guy that arrested the alien and then brought him into the facility, then felt bad and let him out. And he's like, all right, the big bad guys, the ones that are like the ones that were in the cars at the beginning, they are coming to get his ass from your hotel. So you need to help him find what he needs. This ain't my first rodeo. I've done this at least 4 times. And he's like, look, I need to rent out all your hotel rooms except for his, obviously. She's like, that's a lot of money. That's like $70 a night for each room. And he's like, here, will $5 or $6 grand do it? And she was like, yeah, I need a new roof. So she takes it and she's like, gives him the key to all the room. Then he goes to his room and the husband gets back from wherever the fuck he was. If you can't tell, I cannot stand this man-child baby boy and like a whole little mama's boy. He comes in, he sees her counting the wad of cash and he's like, where did you get all that money? And how much is it? And she's like, it's $5 or $6 grand. I'm counting right now. And she's like, I got it from one of the guys. He rented all of our hotel room. And he was like, why is his car under a tarp? I think he's a drug dealer. I don't know what drug dealers you know that cover their cars with a tarp, but okay. In the middle of the desert, no less. He walks across there and he's going to confront the guy. And he's like, guy walks out drunk as fuck. Pulls out a stoke and he's, he's like, hey, you want to hit this? And the guy's like, no, I want to know how you got all that money and blah, 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 like questioning him, right? The guy's treating him like he could give a fuck less, like he doesn't even exist almost. Hands him $200 and he's like, go get me some beer, you can keep the change. And he's like, $200 for some beer? Goes back in the office and he's like, he's definitely a drug dealer. He gave me $200 for beer. We need to get him out of here. Give him his money back. And she's like, you're complaining that we fucking need money and you want me to give him back 6 bands? He's like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go buy this guy's beer so I can keep his chain. He didn't say that, but that's what he, blah, blah, blah. Girl goes out there. She's still looking for the egg rock thing, the failsafe. Cannot find that shit. So finally she breaks and her husband get into a giant fight and she's like, I don't know if she kicked him out or if he left, but I hope she kicked his ass out. Then she's like venting, looking for the hole, digging more holes, looking for the rock thing. And that guy, the government guy, comes and he's like, I saw you and your husband fighting last night. I'm not gonna lie, he's a fucking loser and you can do way better than him. Get him out of here. She's like, you know what, you're right. And then she goes home and the mom's like, I'm gonna make dinner for you and man and that other guy. Invite him over. But while they're having that conversation, she's like, why are you so sad? She's like, I didn't have this blue rock. And the mom's like, oh, that blue rock you used to dig up every single day and look at and then bury it in a different spot? Well, one day I was watching you and I dug it up and I buried it in a different spot. For no reason. Like, I don't even know why she did it. She didn't even tell me. One of the reasons was, she was like, the main reason I didn't give it back to you was because I didn't want you to leave and never come back. What the fuck does a rock... Anyway, blah, blah, blah. The guys come over for dinner, and the girl is not telling him she has the rock for some reason. It gives her some kind of, like, confidence or something. Like, it's like a mild rub. So they're just eating dinner, and the next thing you know, man's walking outside and got the blue rock in his hand, and it's like... She follows him out and she's like, I swear to God, I was going to give it to you. I see that you found it. I was going to give it to you. I just have no excuse. And he's like, He's actually super kind and happy and nice, so he would said it in a nice way. Blah, blah, blah. They all finish dinner and the government guy comes out and he's like, all right, well, you guys ready? And she's like, ready? Where are we going? And he's like, man, you didn't tell her where we were going? And man's like, I was just about to. But instead, she was like justifying her actions instead. They all hop in the car. They're fucking driving, bro. I don't know. They drove so far. They get into this field, and man and the girl get into like some kind of argument, right? And the government guy is like, this is what's going to happen. He's going to use this rock, and he's going to get sent back to space. Meanwhile, we find out he's been gone from his planet for 55 years, Earth here. So they're like talking to the alien guy like, you don't have to leave, you know. And the government guy's like, you know you can melt from this, right? Bing, bam, boom. Government guy goes so he can like get everybody off the trail of this situation. Man uses his rock to beam me up Scott. And Clive goes on to be a famous photographer and left her bitch ass husband. She's staying with her moms. They're taking care of the hotel. Everything's going great. The end.